Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. Today we'll be taking a look at a group of CGC certified Marvel keys, all from the Bronze and Silver Age. Now all these comics in today's video have had substantial price increase for the past 5 and 10 years. We're talking 3, 4, 500%, 1,000%, one of them actually over 2,000% price increase in just the past 10 years. So incredible price gains on these books. And if you guys haven't been watching the comic book market recently or watching comic book auctions, comic book prices for some of these keys, bronze, silver, gold, some of these things are just skyrocketing. So a lot of these books are going to be in you guys' collections because the bronze keys in today's video, all these 10 years ago sold for under $125. One of them was actually only 50 bucks 10 years ago. So a lot of these are in you guys' collections. You know, you might not be keeping up with the markets and knowing exactly how much value you actually have, but these comic books are just taking off. And that goes for a lot of the other asset classes, like the certified action figures, the certified Pokemon Magic the Gathering cards, certified video games. Comics are just another alternative asset class that has seen a huge influx of money over the past few years. A lot of new investors, a lot of new collectors are coming into these alternative asset classes, coming out of the stock market and traditional equities, putting money to work in alternative assets. They're seeing huge price increases, huge price gains. They're watching these auction results. They're seeing video games going for $100,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000. They're seeing comics go for $2, $3, $4, $5 million. They're starting to put money to work in this industry. So if you guys have some of these more modern keys, let's say copper, bronze, silver, all these keys in high grade or even mid-low grade. We actually did a video on low grade keys that are just skyrocketing in price. So it really doesn't matter the grade as much as the book itself. So if you guys have some of these keys, check your collection, check recent pricing. Some of these prices that we show you guys today are going to knock your socks off. Some of these are incredible price gains. So let's go ahead and get started. We have 3 bronze keys, 2 silver keys to show you guys. Let's go ahead and get started with our first bronze key. We're going to present these in the order of increasing price appreciation. So book number 1. Inhumans number 1. This is CGC 9.8, released October 1975. In today's market, this book will cost you 570 bucks, but 5 years ago, this was a $190 book. So that's a price increase or a gain actually of 200% in just 5 years. So that's a return on investment of 200%, just 5 years. 5 years ago, this was $190. Today, 570 bucks. Now, if you go back 10 years, now you're talking about a $120 book and a price gain of 375%. Huge price gain in any asset, but these alternative asset classes, to see a 375% price gain on a book that you just bought 10 years ago, that's substantial. You know, you definitely have to take notice of that. This book here has seen some speculative gain. A lot of this gain is driven by speculative interest due to the rumors and after the announcement that Marvel was going to be making an Inhumans movie. Once the buzz died down about that movie and you don't really hear that much about it anymore, the price kind of stayed around $500, $570 for this book. So we see kind of a floor being put in for this particular issue around the $550, $575 range. So if a floor is put in here and Marvel does release this movie in the near future or characters from the Inhumans into the MCU, this book does have a lot of upward potential, we believe. And like I said, over the past 10 years alone, it's already gained 375%. So you're not doing bad on this book. If you bought it 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, you're sitting pretty on the percentage return on this. That's our first book for today. Now let's take a look at our second one. Alpha Flight number 1. This is a CGC 9.8, released in August of 1983. This features the first appearance of Puck and Marina and the origin of Alpha Flight. Now today, this book is going to cost you about 500 bucks. 5 years ago, this was an $84 book. So $84, you know, trading for under 100 bucks just 5 years ago, $500 in today's market. That means this has seen a price appreciation or a price gain of 495%. That is actually your return. 495% is your return on your investment if you bought this book 5 years ago. You go back 10 years, now we're just skyrocketing this return. 10 years ago, this was a $50 book. $500 today, that's 10 times what it was 10 years ago. That is a return on your investment of 900%. Incredible return for any asset class, But these alternative assets, like I said, people are getting into these certified comics because they're seeing the price returns. 10-year, 900%, incredible growth on this. And this is a Bronze Age book. This is only from the 80s. This isn't terribly old. So this is one trading at $50 10 years ago that some of you guys are going to have in your collection. There's actually a pretty high population on this. I think the population is 883. So this is one people are going to have. This is one you're going to have in your collection. Check it out. You might have this. This is $500 in today's market, just $85 a few years ago. Incredible, incredible return on these books. But nothing like the third book. This is our last bronze key for today, but the return on this one is outstanding. Marvel Chillers #1, CGC 9.8, released in October of 1975. This features the first appearance of Modred the Mystic, Master of Darkhold. Now, in today's market, the last price paid for this book was $2,700. 5 years ago, this was a $180 book. You're talking about a humongous price jump in this book. 5-year gain on this is 1,400%. Now, it's a 1,400% return, not necessarily price gain, but that is your return on your investment. If you bought this book for $180 5 years ago, you're up 1,400% on your investment. Now, you go back 10 years, now we're talking. 10 years ago, this book here was $120. In today's market, trading for $2,700, you're talking about a price increase or price gain on your return on your investment of 2,150%. That's 2,150% return on your $120 investment from 10 years ago. Incredible, incredible return for any asset. A 2,000% return in 10 years is unheard of. So to get a return like that on a more modern book, this is a Bronze Age key, it's unheard of. This here actually got a big boost. There's been a lot of rumors that Modred the Mystic is going to be introduced into the MCU or some of the characters from this particular franchise, because Darkhold was introduced into the MCU through WandaVision. We're not going to really say much about that. We don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen WandaVision, but Darkhold was introduced into the MCU. So if Darkhold was introduced, Modred the Mystic will probably follow. So this book here has a lot of speculation, but now we're talking about a super low population for a book that's almost half a century old. This book's almost 50 years old. There's only 25 in 9.8. So this is one here, tough to get, but you're paying under $200. Up to 5 years ago. $2,700 today, incredible return on these books. So that one is our last Bronze Age key. Now we do have 2 silver keys to show you guys. Now these are going to be recognizable, and these are some incredible keys. Here we have Silver Surfer #4. This is a CGC 9.6, released in February of 1969. In today's market, this book is going to cost you $9,750. That was the price actually paid just 2 months ago for this particular copy at 9.6. Now, 5 years ago, this book would have only cost you $2,100. So you're talking about a huge gain there, a gain of 353% in just 5 years. $2,100 up to $9,750. So a huge price appreciation, 353% in 5 years. Now, you want to go back 10 years. 10 years ago, this book was $2,700. So there was a slight dip about 5 years ago. You could pick this book up for about $600 cheaper than you could 10 years ago. So 10 years ago up to today, you're still talking about a 261% return on your investment. So 261% for 10 years, 353% for 5 years. Either way you look at it, you're talking about doubling, tripling your money on this book. $9,700 in today's market. Incredible return for any asset, but these silver keys, especially this one here, classic cover. This is a classic Marvel cover. People have always collected this one here. Thor battling Silver Surfer on the Rainbow Bridge. You can't go wrong with this book over time, and this is just proving it. The fact that this is trading for almost $10,000 in today's market, $2,000 just a few years ago. Incredible return. The silver keys, the bronze keys, copper keys, they're definitely worth taking a look into. If you guys have some of these in your collection, been collecting the keys, even in lower grade, there's not a lot of these in 9.6. I think in 9.6, there's only 76 of these, and there's only a handful in 9.8. So there's not a huge population. So even if you have this in 9, 9.2, 9.4, you're talking about a huge price gain on your original investment. So it's worth taking a look at these. Incredible gain on this particular book. Nothing like our next book, though. This is our last book in today's video and our last silver key. Silver Surfer number 3, CGC 9.6, released in December of 1968. This one here in today's market, the last price paid just 1 week ago was $16,000. So that was the price paid in April of 2021. This book here, $16,000 in today's market. 5 years ago, this book was $1,200. So you're talking about a price gain there. Substantial price gain. 1,238% in just 5 years. So 1,200% price gain in 5 years. What was it in 10 years, you say? 10 years ago, this book was selling for under $1,000. $925 10 years ago. And today, like I said, $16,000 was the most recent price paid. You're talking about a gain of 1,629% in 10 years. 1,600% return on your investment. You know, unheard of. Unheard of. Like I said, with all these books, it's unheard of in any asset class. This here is the first appearance of Mephisto. Mephisto is being kind of groomed to be the next Thanos level threat in the MCU Phase 4. So there's a lot of speculation on this, a lot of hard speculation on the fact that Mephisto will be the next new villain. But you're talking about a population of 9.6 on a book a half a century old of only 40 books. And I think there's only 7 in 9.8. So, you know, this one here, super low population, 47 books in 9.6 and 9.8, half a century ago. You know, you're not going to see a lot of books popping on the market in 9.6 and 9.8. You may see some lower grade ones come once people start seeing the price of the upper grades are bringing in auction. But you're not going to see 9.6 and 9.8 pop up after 50 years if they haven't already been graded. So this one here, super good book to have in your collection. Great return on your investment. Once again, like I said, 1,600% in 10 years, 1,200% in 5 years. Incredible return on a comic book. So there you have the 5 books that we picked out to show you guys today. Please drop some comments in the comment section below. Let us know if you guys have any of these in your collection. We'd love to hear if you guys have any of these bronze keys and copper keys and know what they're trading on today's market. You know, a lot of these books, this is by no means all-inclusive. There's a ton of books that have seen price gains like this. We will do future videos on those as well. But these are the 5 books we picked out for you guys today. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.